back to this championship edition of Tribune Sports Live. I'm joined with Coach Jeff Mauldin and Coach Jeff Schrupp. Guys, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So you guys have been together a while now. How long has it been?
18 years, I guess?
Probably. I don't even know.
18 or 19 years.
A long time.
And it's been a pretty good ride for you so far. You won a state championship at Clay Chalkville a few years back, and now another ring for you here at Hewitt-Trussville.
Yeah, I mean, we know each other. We've always said that he could be the head coach and I could be the assistant, and nothing would change. So it's been good.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the season. You guys flew under the radar a little bit during the season, and maybe even on into area play a little bit, and you really hit your stride during the playoffs. How did you get this team to peak, or was it just kind of all happenstance or luck? Or tell me a little bit about what happened there.
Well, as far as flying under the radar, we did some things on purpose. We traveled out of state. We went to Tallahassee and played some good teams in Florida, and then went to Murfreesboro for spring break. And we want to get them out of their comfort zone and play at different places, different states, but play a really good schedule. And also to stay away from Birmingham, just from being scouted as much, and which I think worked in our advantage. Once we got to area play, a lot of people, they knew something about us, but they couldn't get a lot of information because we've been all over the state. We went to Troy and played in a tournament, and so I think that helped us when we got to area play, as we knew a lot more about other people than they knew about us. And the rankings came out, and we weren't ranked at the beginning of the season, and that was by design. We really didn't report a lot of things, and after the first rankings came out, we were not ranked, and I asked our players, how they felt about it, and they were kind of upset about it. And it kind of bothered me because, I know we're one of the best 10 teams in the state, and for them not to have us in rankings, so I asked our seniors. I texted them one night. I said, hey, do you want me to start sending stuff in because we should be ranked? And all 4 of them said no. And one of them told me, he says, Coach, don't send anything in. They'll know we're ranked when we dogpile in Montgomery. And we started going down the path, and I think a pivotal point for us was in Tennessee during spring break. We had a couple of bad games, and we kind of challenged them after the second game there, and to reset their goals. And this is your team. This is not us. And we challenged some guys individually, and as a team, we came together. From that point, we won our next 2 games in Tennessee. But then, those two games plus the others, we won 17 of our last 19 games, and we went a month without losing a game. And these kids it's been fun to watch because they're loose, but they have laser focus at the same time. It's amazing. I'll go out just Saturday in Montgomery. We're playing for the state championship, and I go out there to talk to them in the outfield before the game, like we always do, and it's serious. As soon as I walk away, I don't know what they're doing. I think they're dancing and hollering and screaming and doing all this. But they're focused when they need to be focused. But then they have a great time, and I think they really bonded together during the year. And I think taking trips like that helps. You put them in a hotel and you go out to eat together as a team, and they're not staying with their parents. They're staying with their teammates. 3 different trips in hotels, and I think that bonds them. They hang out together. These guys play cornhole together. They play PlayStation together. We do some things as a team on some Sundays at different people's houses and just get together and fellowship and eat. And it's a great group. Probably one of the best groups I've ever been around.
Outstanding. So, Coach, this wasn't a power hitting team that you had. They called it small ball. They called it Mauldin ball. I read one article about it. Talk a little bit about your hitting philosophy and how you made it work with this team.
Yeah, my hitting philosophy has always been aggressive, hit doubles, hit home runs. But when they changed the bats on us and we went to a BB core, we had to adjust the way we kind of made an approach. So you just can't swing for the fences like you used to be able to. And we knew going into this season our real big edge was team speed. So bunting and small game, situational hitting, moving runners became a real big focus. It's what we really emphasized. And we just knew we could be competitive 1 through 9. We knew we had some guys that had the potential to be, really strong hitters. But we also were looking for guys that could be role players, and that happened. We ended up with some guys that, be honest with you, we, didn't have in the mix probably when we, started in January, that played huge roles for us. So philosophy-wise, you really have to adjust to what your team, can give you. So I'd love to tell you what my hitting philosophy is, but to be honest with you, in 18 years, it changes from season to season.
It's based on whoever you have in the lineup.
You just have to. If you don't change, you'll get dominated.
Very good. Coach Mauldin, you handle the pitchers. How well did this group do for you in the playoffs, this pitching staff?
They're awesome. I mean, I could go back to the Hoover series, but to go on the road to Hoover, to go on the road to Oak Mountain, and Hoover wasn't really a hostile environment, but you're at Hoover, and the name and all that, and our guys weren't intimidated at all going over there. And then Oak Mountain, I think, gave us our really first. This is hostile environment. They had a great student section and all that, and to go out there and do what they did there, and then to get to host Sparkman here with our crowd. I think Sparkman walked into a danger zone, if you will, and I think they were shocked when they saw our fans and how well our community supported us. And then to Patterson Field, the same thing. But as far as the pitching goes, the Hoover, we didn't really throw that good. I mean, we really scored runs. I mean, I can't remember the final score, 18, 19 runs or whatever it was, and then the next day, 9 or 10 runs, and Jamison hits the walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the 8th, and it really was an offensive series for us. And then go to Oak Mountain, it was just kind of a back and forth. I thought our pitchers really competed. They didn't throw their best, but they really competed. We had a kid, Davis Bergen, who really stepped up and threw some huge innings, and he hadn't thrown in a month, in a game 3. And then when we got to Sparkman, our two left-handers, Carson Skipper and Cameron Furr, they, to me, dominated the series as far as how we were going to pitch Sparkman. And really, they pitched completely different against Sparkman than they did against Auburn. And it was, based on what they were doing against us. But I felt like those two kids absolutely dominated Sparkman, and then they came out and dominated Auburn. And then, obviously, and Cameron Moore came in closing against Sparkman in 2 innings and was a huge, huge spot, a 1-run game. And any pitch, that was probably the most nerve-wracking call in a game was against Sparkman, because they had all the power hitters, and one pitch could change a game, hit a home run, and for him to come in a 1-run game in the 6th and dominate them for 2 innings, But those 3 guys, really, the last 2 weeks, and especially Furr and Skipper, were phenomenal. And then the finals, 14 scoreless innings, no walks, only give up 6 or 7 hits against a very potent offense all year. And we saw some things in scouting them. Then those guys executed the game plan perfectly. I mean, I don't know, and even the people in Montgomery were like, we've never seen a championship series dominated like this, as far as 2 back-to-back shutouts against one of the best teams in the state.
It's fun to watch those guys kind of grow up in front of your eyes there in the playoffs, huh?
That's Cameron Furr being one who really didn't pitch any varsity the last couple of years. I mean, he had like 1 appearance in 2 years, and then to watch him grow and mature from his freshman and sophomore year to this year, and just during the year, how much better he had gotten was fun to watch. And then Carson, he got a lot of time as a freshman last year, so even though he's a sophomore, we don't look at him as a sophomore. He's probably more like a junior, senior as far as his seasoning. But again, we changed some things midway through the year with him, from the stretch, how he threw his curveball, and he was very coachable, and he believed in us. And I mean, the rest is history. I mean, he set the school record for wins, innings pitched, and so it was good.
So we can break it next year.
Absolutely. He went 11-2. He needs to go 13-0 next year.
There you go. So the two of you preach that it's not just about baseball, it's about what you do outside the lines and how you live your life. Can you talk just a little bit about that and the type of young man you want these kids to be?
Yeah, I mean, someone asked me earlier today during the parade and all that stuff, you know, what is the process thing that we've thrown out there, and you know, is it faith, family, school, baseball? And I said it's everything, and it's, you know, we want our guys, because baseball is going to end at some point in their life. It may be after high school, it may be after college. If they're fortunate enough to go pro, it's going to end. You know, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? And you know, we want them to be a great, you know, husband to their wife. We want them to be a great dad to their kids. We want them to have great jobs and take care of their families. And you know, the best phone calls that we get as coaches, and Coach would agree with me, is, "Hey, Coach, I'm having my first baby, and I just want to call you and tell you, hey, Coach, I'm engaged, I'm getting married, you know, I'm getting a graduation announcement in the mail from Sanford University from a former player, and you know, hey, Coach, can you write me a reference? I've got a job interview coming up." And you know, those, you want to build those relationships with the kids where they continue to come back and see you, and that way you know you've made an impact in their life. And I think our kids see that, you know, even though we've only been here 4 years and we've been around these guys, they're all that they know. I mean, we're all that they know, but they see kids from Clay Chaltville, when we coached at Clay Chaltville, coming back with their wife and their kids, and they say, "Hey, that's Levi Patman." Or, you know, against Sparkman, Hunter Stovall, who's playing at Mississippi State, played for us at Pelham. Him and his dad come watch us play Sparkman. They say, "Hey, we saw Hunter Stovall." They see what we want. You know, we want you to come back and share what's going on, or just come. I mean, it means so much to us if a kid comes back, you know, 5, 6, 7, 10 years later, you feel like, you know what, we had something to do with him. You know, we made an impact on him. You know, not just baseball. I mean, they don't just come back just to watch the high school baseball game. They come back because they care about us, because they know that we care about them.
Well, we appreciate what you guys have done for the community, both of you, and we look forward to, you know, hopefully more of this in the future. When we come back, Brandon Dawkins is going to talk to the most important people, your wives. So we'll be back with her in just a moment.